Alright boys and girls, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about how to edit a video, very broad sense. So we're really going to be running over the basics of what I believe make a good video. This is specifically to editing events, not to editing movies and stuff. I will make a separate video on that, but these are just the basic steps that I believe that you need to know in order to edit a very well-rounded events video. And if you want to contact me on editing a video for you or filming something, I have my business inquiries in the description, my website and my email, so you can check me out there. But this video that I'm going to be using today is a video edited for Division 4 West Key Club. So this is a fall rally video. You can check it out in the description to have a better understanding of this video, but it isn't extremely necessary. I just highly recommend you do, just to give you a basic understanding and show you a bit of my style of editing. So first thing I want to talk about isn't really a step yet. This is just like a preface. It's that, but this is just what video editing really is. Because when you think of video editing, a lot of people think of, oh, you just cut together the footage, just pop, you pop them all down, put some music underneath, and done. You're done, right? It's not that simple. Video editing, essentially a video is an experience, right? So you need to understand what experience you want your audience to be feeling, right? What you want them to think while editing or while watching your video, and how your editing can influence that, right? So video editing is post-production. So you gotta understand your footage. So that's the first step here. You gotta know your footage in order to tell that story, right? So you gotta know what you're working with. So in this video here, of course, the event is Fall Rally, going to Six Flags, right? So we have all our footage of all the members. We have our establishment shots and stuff. So you gotta understand what footage creates what purpose. For example, these shots right here to show the members having a good time, right? So you want to pick out the footage that best creates experience, right? So all these footage have members smiling, singing, having fun, right? And we have shots like this, which are establishment shots. So you wouldn't know that everyone's at Six Flags unless you show this, right? So you have the Six Flags establishment shots, you have everyone walking into the park. Again, establishment shot of here's the entrance to Six Flags, right? So it's very important to know what you're working with. I will create another video specifically on this, how to organize your footage, how to go through and pick out which is the best, which are the best shots, which to cut out, which to keep. But essentially, the first step is knowing your footage, right? The second step is telling a story, or essentially how to cut together your footage, how you want to organize your video, right? So if you've watched the video or the Fall Rally video, there are essentially roughly four sections to it, 4 or 5. I say that because, first of all, we have this section right here, this area. And what this area essentially is showing us getting to Six Flags, right? Excuse me. So that's the first arc, sort of the introduction, like where are we, what are we doing, right? The second arc is showing the progress that we made up until that point, sort of a flashback. Now you don't have to organize your video this way. This is a very extremely good way to do a wedding video. However, if you're editing a wedding video, you want to, show the party, show everyone having fun. But then you also want to get to the couples, right? So how did they get to that point? You don't want to just show them getting married, kissing, all of that. All that stuff is great, right? But in order for the audience to care about that part, you need to have a separate part, a part that shows them, talking about how they met, and you have some footage of, their old house, the location they first met, stuff like that. That's very important in order to create a video that, first of all, explains to the audience who these people are, but second of all, matter to the people themselves if you're editing a wedding video, correct? So this second portion is extremely important. Now, like I said, you don't have to start this way. You can start with this, in the beginning, and then go linearly. But it's really up to you how you edit your video. But I just find that this works best for this video. Now it won't work for all situations, so you gotta be adaptive. Just go on your instinct. And if it doesn't work out, there's always next time, right? So third of all is music. Now, your music needs to match the mood of the scene, right? So this first part, you know, everyone's really happy, so the music is very upbeat. Sunshine, you know, the lyrics, you hear the lyrics, you see sunshine on my face, and you see everyone has a great time, right? The second part, you know, a bit more laid back, we're going back a bit, right? And so these two moods are very similar, but this one shows, you know, more, it has more of the feel of progress to it, right? And this third part, we have our cheers. You know, more chill music, but once we get to the parts where everyone's actually cheering, you know, we sort of push the music back a bit, let the raw audio come out, because we want people to feel that energy. We don't want them to see that footage, hear that music, but then not really, you know, hear what the people are saying. I mean, for this event specifically, it's extremely important to hear these cheers because it's what the members worked really hard to do, right? So I have a portion where the music is, you know, it's just very quiet, right? So you hear more of the members cheering and stuff. So let's say in a wedding, you know, let's say it's when they're giving their speech, right? Or when they're giving a toast, or they're saying "I do," right? That part you don't want that much music. If any, like, you might make the conscious choice to just cut out that music, which is extremely, I say it's a very important choice which you have to make, which is, does the music add anything to this scene, right? You aren't just adding the music in to be there. You're adding it because it has a purpose. Everything is, again, tell that experience, right? So in this last shot here, we have some more emotion music because, you know, everyone's leaving the park. This is the resolution, right? So we have sort of the intro, we have our flashback, we have our main, you know, conflict. You know, we have that rise up, and after that, we have a rise down, or slowly going down, and then we have a resolution, right? Right, so sort of more melancholy music, everyone's leaving, and at the end we have, you know, just a bit of bloopers, which you don't really have to add, right? But while my Premiere is not responding at the moment, we can talk about color grading. So color grading is the fourth step here, which I think is so important, but not enough people do. I mean, if you look at people who are starting out with video editing, right, they might just throw a filter on there or something, and you know, that's fine for now, right? But you're not really getting that full experience for the viewer, because essentially color grading sets the tone just as much as the music does, right? So I won't go specifically into how to color grade in this video. I will do a separate video on that, just as I do for every single one of these steps. I'll do a separate video on it, how to, you know, organize everything, how to understand your footage, how to pick what music you want, right? So let's say you have a client, maybe, like, I usually use, you know, SoundCloud music. Just contact the SoundCloud artist, see if they allow you to use their music in your video, you know, explain to them what kind of video you're doing. A lot of them will say yes, right? But let's say you have a client, right? You might want to purchase some music that you can use, you know, see if they have a budget, you know. So it really all depends. But color grading is a step that you really can't skimp out, because, you know, in this first portion here, we have, you know, warmer. Everything's extremely warm in this first part, you know, more saturated. We have that sunshine, you know, it's a very warm glow to it, right? And then you contrast it to this last shot here, and everything's, you know, darker, cooler, you know, the sun's going down, right? So color grading is extremely important. You want to work with the colors to create a mood for your video, right? So to summarize, we have essentially 4 steps. First is understanding your footage. 2 is telling a story, or how to cut together your footage. 3 is your music or your audio, not just music. You can use audio to tie together clips, to highlight certain things, you know. It's what the conscious choice you make with your audio. And 4th is color grading. So I think those are the 4 main components to a really good video, right? So I hope you understand more about video editing in this. I will make a separate video for, again, each of these 4, and I'll make another video just, you know, editing and showing you my process live, right? But yeah, if you have any questions, you can comment down below, or you can email me if you have any jobs that you would like me to do, any videos you'd like me to edit. But yeah, until next time, everyone.